scientist, activist, apparently. This is about phi, which isn't P-I, it's P-H-I. Stephen here told me that he's my friend. So we just start off with spirals. The spirals everywhere, you see them in shells. If you put those spirals together, you can see them in sunflowers, galaxies, and our Milky Way is made up of spirals. And I don't know if there's anyone seen this. It's like a broccoli Romanesco that's got spirals in it. So there's one spiral that comes to mind with all of these things. It comes from the same place. You get a square, or you get a rectangle. It's the same rectangle that's in your credit card. And if you cut it up into different sections, then you can draw a spiral from it. So I'd like to point out to Stephen, phi doesn't equal pi, which loads of people know because of the movie Pi, but it's actually really about the number phi, but it wasn't actually going to be very popular because nobody knows about phi. And its number is 1.618. So it's really kind of funny because 1 over 1.618 equals 0.618. And if you do 1.618 squared, you get 2.618. And also it's these funny little equations with square roots are one over the other. So where did it all come from? Why phi? It comes from a guy called Leonardo Fibonacci. So, I don't know. So as you're counting up numbers, you add 0 to 1, you get 1, 1 to 1, you get 2, 2 to 3, 2 to 1, you get 3. So basically just adding the numbers as you go. And this is really funny because it appears all around us in nature. So you always get flowers that appear with 1 petal, 2 petals, 3 petals, 5 petals, 8 petals, 13 petals, 21, 34, and the rose there has 2 sequences involved as well. You'll never get flowers with petals in between. Also, if you count the branches on a tree, you start off the ground, you get 0, then you have 1 branch, then you have another branch that divides into 2, then divides into 3, then 5. But also, if you look at the bottom, you've got branches that go around. So if the branch goes, if there's 5, this is really fast. If there's 8 branches, you've gone around the tree 5 times. There's 5 branches down 3 times. So then it goes into bees. Bees have this thing from generation to generation, and say rabbits. But even an eagle, when it's catching its prey, when it spirals down the same spiral. And a lot of people who study art, or if you're doing photography, learn about the rule of 2/3 or 1/3, whatever. Really, it's actually not 2/3, it's 0.618. So whenever you're putting something of interest in your picture, you always put it in on that ratio. And it plays a little music, if you look at the violin, and the yellow thing that I have there is called the Golden Ration, and that's the division. And if you look at some famous symphonies, you'll find that they're usually, a lot of times, they're divided into 2 parts. The ratio of the beats between these 2 parts is 0.618 or 1.618. And in your finger, if you divide the top bone into the length of the next bone, into the length of the next bone, you get 1.618, and in your height. So if I am, let's say if I'm 1.618 meters, which is kind of small, then just from here to here would be 1 meter, and it breaks down like that as well. So Leonardo was onto this and had the face of someone divided into this. And also, the oldest part of your brain is, if you look at the brain, it kind of replicates the spiral, and the centre of that spiral is your whole brain. So here's kind of a Picasso-looking picture, which is just loads of ratios that appear in the face. And from this, there's references there to scientific journals, and from that they developed this kind of perfect face. So the question is, who is the most beautiful presenter? That's what we want to know. And of course, when you look at the camera, is Stephen there, but Pat Kenny's lips go a bit far up. Obviously, right over his ears stick out, and his chin goes too far, but Gabriel is the most beautiful. But also in our heart rhythms, if you take the 2 points between the systoles and you take the distole, it's 1.618 ratio in the middle. And also your DNA is 21 across and 34 high. Now, this is where you break shit down to molecules, as Buster likes to say. Eventually, the golden mean energy is 0.618 megavolts, relates to the largest total energy of atomic orbital electrons. If anyone knows what that means, please come up to me afterwards. I have a clue, but it's fucking cool. This is the foreign exchange market called the Forex. Basically, 80% of the world's trade is done through just trading currency. It's huge. And this is your fluctuations of going up and down. If it goes up by a jump of 1.618, it's bound to drop, if that's the regular frequency of it. There's fractals. I haven't seen fractals before. If you go to transvestitostate acid, this is what you see. All of the spirals in fractals are all the same spiral. Phi, 1.618. There's a 3-dimensional fractal. This is the biggest fractal in the universe. It is the universe. New scientists published an article realizing that all the clusters resemble fractal shapes. when they look up the skies. And of course we showed you earlier on that this is the Whopper. Okay, so I hope it stays on for a little while, but I won't do it in 20 seconds. Okay, this is the radius of the Earth, B is the radius of the Earth plus the Moon, and C is the hypotenuse. So blah blah blah, all that mathematical jargon. If you divide C, the hypotenuse, by A, the radius of the Earth, it's 1.618 blah blah blah, all the things. And that's really why we're here.
If you'd like to get away to a better quality of life, to a more enjoyable way of life, to a better pace of life, well then the West of Ireland is a really good place to do that.
The Western Development Commission covers the 7 western counties, going from Donegal, Sligo, Leitrim, Mayo, Roscommon, Galway and Clare, so effectively west of the Shannon and Donegal.
I know many people who've relocated from Dublin to the west and nobody has gone back the other way, so I would definitely be very encouraging of people to make that move.
We've got mountains, rivers, lakes, the sea. In terms of outdoor activities, there's so much to do. We've got all the activities that anybody could possibly want to do.
The work environment is there. There are fine industries across the whole broad spectrum of industries. My message to people is look west and you'll be surprised.